Hey guys, so in this video you and I are going to talk about training. What do I mean by training? Well, I mean how I suggest that you train a junior developer. So let's get into it. Now, one of the main issues of this, and this is a bit of a conundrum. As a junior developer, you have to kind of respect that you don't have, and I think most people are humble in the face of this. I mean, nobody expects to be like a super developer the first thing they, first day on the job. Nobody expects that. And some people would even I would go as far as to saying that they are fairly, even a little bit scared, because it is intimidating to be a junior developer. Let's just face it, it's not something that, it doesn't matter what it is. You're always a little bit insecure in the beginning, right? But there's also this, as you're thinking about, let's just for a moment think about it from whoever is going to be working with you. Look at their perspective when you are a junior developer. And it kind of depends. I mean, in my experience, it depends on the maturity level of the people you're working with and the maturity level of the company. I've been in companies where they have never ever had or rather they've never trained a junior developer, and it's been absolutely horrible. And then I have worked for companies who have been doing that a few times, and it's been a very pleasant experience. It's still scary, but it's much less scary, and you feel much more support from the company and your colleagues. And this is what I want to talk to you about. The way that I've found to be most effective to help a junior developer go from being very uncertain about their own abilities and actually getting to a point where they can be productive as quickly as possible is to first and foremost decide that, all right, we have certain stories or we have certain jobs that are real, because you don't ever make the mistake of putting a junior in like a completely simulated experience. I mean, as a junior, you need to be exposed to real software. You need to know what everything is about. The one thing that you shouldn't be doing, and that's what happened to me, is to put them in a situation where you treat their effort or the thing that they're doing is business critical. It is that it's actually truly important to the company that this is working correctly and so forth, because they're most likely not ready. And if you're doing something like that, you're putting them in a really tough spot, because the pressure is going to be enormous. And especially if you're not providing them with any type of senior assistance or anything like that, that is a really, really rough experience. So what you want to achieve is something where, let's say that you have a product of some sort and you have these business critical things. Those things should be worked on by your senior staff or the established programmers. The juniors' main goal and focus should be on learning. So two things I find to be very useful in the training of this junior person is to piggyback on somebody to start off with, just to get like maybe the first week or something like that, where they just sit next to somebody else and learn the ropes of the system. The second thing is that you, as the provider of the training, need to have a look at, all right, what's the stuff that we're going to ship in the recent time, in the coming weeks? Is there something here that is important adjacent? And what I mean by that is, if the perfect thing for a junior is to have, let's say that you have an internal management system for your product, which is just a tool that is used for you and your staff. It's not something that your users, or rather, it's not tied into your users' appreciation of your product. It doesn't tie into your revenue streams or anything like that. It's just an internal tool you use in order to effectively manage your system. That's a perfect thing for a junior to have a look at, because you have to account for that the code is going to be low quality and you might have to rewrite it. That's just a fact of the world. As a junior, you kind of, and let's be honest, if you're pulling in a junior, you're not pulling them in because you expect them to be as productive as the guy or girl who's been working for 10 years. So that's a really nice, I think, mindset to have, to put them kind of in the outskirts of the product and let them earn their way into working on the really meaty, big features. That's number one. And number two is to provide comfort. junior needs somebody to talk to constantly. You dedicate a person working at your company to be their rubber duck so that they can have a dialogue going back and forward. That is how I find you get the best results with training a junior developer. That's at least from my experience. Hopefully this was useful to you. Have a good day.